transnational organized crime, terrorism, environmental change, and poverty. For some people, the expansion of international security agendas is an unwanted distraction from what should be the core concerns of war, peace, and state security. In contrast, this book argues that expanding understandings of the nature of international security acknowledges the complex dynamics and multiple factors that frequently underlie narrower concerns with war and peace. Moreover, expansion has also been accompanied by more radical implications. The increasing emphasis on humanitarian and ecological concerns that seek to locate the lived experience of people at the heart of debates about security has, for example, challenged the priority traditionally accorded to states. Put differently, in a globalizing and increasingly interconnected world, people are becoming increasingly aware of how security dynamics in different parts of the world, and even in their local neighborhoods, are often intimately connected. The traditional domestic-international divide when talking about security is therefore increasingly breaking down. This book provides an insight into this complexity and some of the questions it raises. Broadly speaking, the book is divided into two halves, with chapters 3 through 5 focusing on more traditional security concerns of war, peace, and international order, and chapters 6 through 9 homing in on key debates central to the expansion of the international security agenda. In tackling these issues, however, the book seeks to sensitize readers to three core analytical points. First, debates about international security cannot be separated from considerations of power and politics. This can be seen, for example, in how debates about the relative merits of the expansion of the international security agenda ultimately raise questions concerning who gets to set the agenda or frame how particular issues are understood as threats and to whom. Second, debates about international security also inevitably entail considerations of justice, morality, and responsibility. This is particularly evident when considerations of human rights, the distribution of resources, and responsibilities for tackling climate change are on the table. Given these first 2 points, it is important to emphasize that international security issues are almost inevitably sites of contention, since they typically evade any singular way of understanding their nature or the appropriate responses necessary for their resolution. Third, the book will also draw attention to the inherent limitations of the structure of the international system in tackling many contemporary international security issues, and indeed suggests that sometimes the problem may lie in the very nature of the system itself. Before turning to substantive debates, however, the book begins with a theoretical chapter. This is necessary since any understanding of the political and ethical nature of debates about international security requires understanding that such debates often have their background in the different conceptual and theoretical assumptions that different actors have about both the content and nature of security and of what constitutes the appropriate concern of international politics. Chapter 2. A Contested Nature. When people talk about security problems, they do so in terms qualitatively different from any other type of problem. Security is seen as an imperative, not an option. People do not obsess over cost-benefit analyses or about opportunity cost. They get on with what has to be done because they understand that security goes right to the heart of the basic contract between state and citizen. In the same vein, when it comes to security, the worst-case scenario is prepared for. You don't sit around and hope for the best. Margaret Beckett, UK Foreign Minister. Security is important indeed. Many people think it is of utmost importance and a primary value. Without security, we may be unable to pursue secondary goals of the good life. Indeed, without security, we may become immobilized by existential anxiety.